on a beautiful sunny afternoon to recognize one of our favorite people in the world. I'm Matt Whitmer. I'm Deputy Superintendent of Educational Services. It is a pleasure to welcome you to the Ray McMullen Way dedication ceremony. Today's celebration is 70 years in the making. We are thrilled to honor and pay tribute to a true Walnut Valley legend, Ray McMullen. We are recognizing Ray for a lot of reasons, but mainly among them his unwavering kids first dedication to students, staff, and schools. Ray is a friend, colleague, exemplary leader, mentor, historian, and volunteer. And now his impact will forever be imprinted in Walnut Valley's history. Beginning today, the pathway between Lemon and Glenwick Avenues will be officially designated as Ray McMullen Way. In addition, we are recognizing Ray's late wife, Nancy, for designing the walnut tree logo in 1968 that is still being used today.
Yeah.
We appreciate this tremendous gathering of Ray's friends, colleagues, and family members who have joined us to mark this special occasion. At this time, I would like to introduce, to begin with, our guest of honor, Ray McMullen, and his children, Mike and Robin. Our Board of Trustees, President Helen Hall. Vice President Larry Redinger. Clerk Leila Abu-Talib. Member Dr. Tony Torn. Member Cindy Reese. Our Superintendent, Dr. Robert Taylor. Personnel Commissioners, Michael Covarrubias. Vice Chairperson, Gail Pacheco. Member, Ray McMullen. Our local officials from Diamond Bar City Council, Council Member Andrew Chow. From the Walnut City Council, Mayor Nancy Tregars and Mayor Pro Tem Linda Friedman.
Behind you.
We also have retired council member Bob Pacheco. Representing Senator Josh Newman, District Representative Christiane Salamat. Representing Senator Bob Archuleta, Kyle Miller. From Assembly Member Lisa Calderon's office, Communications Director Albert Reese. We also have many retirees in the audience. If you're a retiree from Walnut Valley Unified School District, would you stand at this time? We have a number of people who would like to acknowledge Ray McMullen, and at this time I'd like to introduce Superintendent Dr. Robert Taylor to the podium to share about Ray's history in our district.
Thank you, Matt. Good afternoon, everyone. This is a tremendous honor for me to have the opportunity to stand up here and speak about Ray. and for a few minutes share some of his many accomplishments. I imagine all of us have personal stories about how Ray has positively shaped our lives. I first met Ray McMullen about 15 years ago. I was assigned a job of leading a budget committee of a lot of people to do what I thought was an impossible task, and I was worried that I had no idea what I was doing. And a superintendent said, "You need to go meet a man named Ray McMullen." So I did. I met Ray at Starbucks and Diamond Bar, and he not only helped me that day, he walked me through the entire process for months and helped me accomplish the goal. And I have been going back to Ray for advice all the time ever since. And so personally, he's done so much for me. Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it. I'm going to read a little more than I normally do because I want to share some of the contributions that Ray has made and a little bit about his history. And I want to make sure I get it right and don't miss anything. Ray McMullen has a long history in the Walnut Valley community, as you know. In 1954, I believe he was planning on spending another summer working for a construction company when Superintendent Cy Morris sent somebody out and offered him a teaching contract, and he accepted it. He was finishing final exams at Whittier College at the time, where he also starred as an all-conference football player. He reminds us of that once in a while. And because he was finishing his finals, he didn't have his credential yet. So Superintendent Morris had to get creative and actually hired him on as a custodian at the time, but he was really teaching 8th graders at what was Walnut Elementary District at the time. I imagine Ray did not realize that he would be impacting kids' lives here for the next 70 years, as you know he is. After leaving Walnut Valley to serve a stint in the military and living in Germany, Ray and his beloved wife Nancy returned to what was then about a 200 student district, where once again he taught on a $4,000 a year salary, I believe, and as he always has, he did a lot of other things that weren't part of his job, including driving the school bus. He was later recruited and named the first principal ever of Suzanne Middle School, and then he went on to the district level, as you know, where he served in personnel, where he was assistant superintendent of human resources, but he also worked with curriculum and student services in great depth. As a leader and one of the early leaders in Walnut Valley, he did so much. He was part of a team that master planned the entire district. They built schools, developed strategic plans, employed hundreds of teachers and administrators, created job descriptions, and employed classified staff, and created a staff development plan across the entire district. As you know, Walnut Valley is a merit system, and at the time, actually for more than 20 years, Ray served as the director of classified personnel while also serving as the assistant superintendent of human resources. He was one of only 3 people in the entire state at that time to do both of those jobs simultaneously. And as you know, he's perhaps best known for his work in human resources. His Walnut Valley bus tours are so famous with so many people. How many of you have been on a Walnut Valley bus tour with Ray? Yeah, I've been able to do that several times with him during my tenure. I mean, as you know, when he, and Matt mentioned this earlier, when he was promoted to lead personnel, he needed a logo for the district brochure for recruiting, and he also needed a logo for his business card. So he went home and he asked his wife Nancy, who was also an artist, to help him. And I need a logo. And as he's told the story many times, and I'll quote Ray, "She sat down that night and designed our walnut tree," end quote. And that's the same tree that you'll see over the entire district. You look all around, that we're still using very proudly today. As Matt mentioned, Nancy will also be recognized today, as her name and this contribution will also forever be noted on the plaque under the Ray McMullen Way street sign. During his career here, Ray worked for 3 superintendents, Cy Morris, Dr. David Brown, and Dr. Ron Hockwald. When Ray retired after 40 years of service in 1995, he continued to consult with people in the district, he provided leadership training, and he served as the official historian for the Walnut Valley Unified School District. He led a bond campaign that was successful and will have provided facilities that will impact kids for generations and generations to come. He was a longtime Kiwanis Club board member and co-founder of Dedicated to Learning. I know other members of the board of Dedicated Learning are here today. They have done so many great things for students and adults across our community. He is recognized throughout the state for his work in developing the human resources leaders through his AXA Personnel Academy. And as you know today, as mentioned earlier, Ray serves as one of our 3 personnel commissioners. In closing, Ray was recognized at our annual Welcome Back all-staff event several years ago, and he spoke to the entire staff. And at the end of his speech, he simply shared on behalf of himself and his late wife, Nancy, and I'll quote, "Walnut was and still is more than a job for us. I've been blessed to be a part of it," end quote. And Ray, I can confidently say that our school district, our community, thousands of people, including all of us in attendance today, have been blessed by you and by having you in our lives. Thank you for all you've done, and congratulations.
Turn around, Ray.
Next, I'd like to invite to the podium our Board of Trustees President, Helen Hall.
Good afternoon. I think I'm there. Maybe. My speech is very short, so stay tuned. Excuse me. When I think of Ray McMullen, I think of a historian. And as I was writing a few notes, I said, what is a historian? A historian is a person who studies and writes and speaks about the past and is regarded as an authority on it. So I think that's really the title we should have for Ray, a historian, someone we can always go to get the information or to get the answers. And then when I started looking at what are the characteristics of a historian, first is research. Most historians spend their careers performing research and sharing. Research compiles information from the past, supporting the historian's role in their place of employment. And I can truly say that each and every one of us has learned so much from Ray because he was our household and continue to be our household historian. Another characteristic is educate the public. Ray has spent countless hours teaching, training, sharing information throughout our school district and in the community. Ray has been and continue to be a mentor and a teacher. If you are willing to listen, he can spend hours talking about our district and our community. He truly cares for everyone, employees as well as the students, never missing a moment to share his information. He has been an integral part of our district and is regarded as one of the best. When you look at the quality of people we employ, and you can see why we are best nationally, and Ray has played a significant part of this. I've learned so much from Ray over the past 40 years. He has been a teacher and a mentor to me, and I thank you for that. Ray, this event today is just a small token of our appreciation for all of the years you have dedicated to the Walnut Valley Unified School District and our community. We have been so fortunate to have the institutional knowledge for all of these years that you've shared with us. I would like to say thank you, Ray, and a big thank you to your family for sharing you all these years, and we continue to have you today. It is because of you, Ray, we are able to look to the past to build for the future. Thank you.
From our Personnel Commission, Chairperson Michael Covarrubias would like to share a few words about his colleagues.
Thank you, man. I actually had 10 pages written, but after Bob, Smoke, and Helen, I'm down to about 2 words. First of all, congratulations, Ray. We're really, really proud that you have been a big part of this district. And when I think about Ray McMullen Way, there's 2 individuals that come to mind that are in the same company. I think of Vince Scully Way, Chick Hearn Way, and now we have Ray McMullen Way. He's in that same company. Where's Bob? Bob, I was told I have 10 minutes still. 5 or maybe 1. I'll keep it to 1 minute. There's a couple of words that you've heard over and over again. And there's a couple of words that I think of when I think of my friend here, Ray. Mentor. He's mentored so many individuals, not only teachers, but so many administrators throughout many, many districts. And he continues to mentor. I've been in education for over 40 years, and I can count the number of mentors with 2. And Ray is one of my mentors. After 40 years, he's still mentoring me. So thank you, Ray, for being a mentor to so many people, including myself. The other word I think of is founding father. Ray is one of the many founding fathers that set a strong foundation throughout this district where we continue to build and build, but based on a solid foundation that was set forth by Ray McMullen and his colleagues. So thank you, Ray, for setting that strong foundation for this great district. And lastly, friendship. You know, a lot of us have acquaintances, but there are very few friends, and I cherish his friendship. I first met Ray probably about 25 years ago, and throughout our walks in life, we've encountered each other, and I still call him, and I check with him, and it turns out I'm not sure. So thank you for your sincere friendship. Lastly, there are a few individuals that have this, and that's a true moral compass. His moral compass is always pointing true north. Very seldom does he ever waver from that, or he never wavers from that. My compass is always spinning around, but when I hit Ray, boom, I go straight back to north. So, in closing, if you ever get lost or lose your way, remember to always go the right way, and that's the Ray McMullen way. Congratulations, Ray.
Please welcome retired Assistant Superintendent Dr. Nancy Hogue.
Can you see me? All right, everyone, I'm the closer. I feel really privileged to speak on behalf of all of Ray's friends, and young at heart friends. So, Ray, you know how much we love you and we admire you. Ray models what all of us hope to achieve in our lifetime. Every minute of every day, he lives his values. Ray always puts kids first and has based all of his decisions on doing what's right for kids. Whether personally or professionally, his heart just feels for children, both in the United States and internationally. I don't know, I think a lot of us know Ray and Nancy volunteered in schools in rural China, and even now, Ray does a lot for the children in Laguna School in Yimbo. And if you know Ben O'Deepo, that's his foundation. But Ray's always the first to step up and said, let's do what we can to help them. Ray also models empathy, patience, inclusiveness, and understanding. Ray never prejudges people, and he kind of gets on me sometimes, And he says he's the first to step up and teach us to be empathetic and understanding of people who may not agree with us, but he always says, listen to them, right? Listen to them and try to understand. Ray models what is the best, the very best of humankind. And he has blessed Walnut Valley and all of us with his years of vision and kindness. You know, Martin Luther King Jr. said, everyone can be great because everyone can serve. And the quote epitomizes Ray's professional and personal life. Ray helps, all of you know this, Ray helps without any reason and gives without the expectation of receiving anything in return. So Ray McMullen, you deserve to be recognized, you deserve the accolades, and we so appreciate all the years of service you've given to us, the community, and to all of us who are lucky enough to call you friends. So on behalf of all your friends here, and we're all young, right? That we love you, and we give you lots of hugs, and we just know you're going to be with us for many, many years. So thank you, Ray. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to invite our Board of Trustees to make a special presentation.
I've been summoned to the microphone. Just want to let everyone know that this sign is for you, Ray, to take home. So you don't have to drive all the way over here to see it. You can look at it at home.
Stay center. Let you stay
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Right, hold on.
Down. And then make sure it's...
I don't know.
Why are you going to make it hanging? I see it every day.
You have to help him.
Yeah.
I hope you're opposed to it.
Oh, yeah.
And now it's my great pleasure to introduce our guest of honor, Ray McMullen, to say a few words.
Talk about being overwhelmed. I apologize for the mask, but it's become kind of part of my life in the last while in large groups. Truly humbled by the day, humbled by seeing so many former employees and friends, humbled by seeing current and dear friends here. One of the things they tell you is to never give an old man the mic because he has too many years to talk about, and I'll try to avoid that today. I've had my 4-hour speech on the phone here. If I'm technical enough to get it up, well, bear with me while there we go. I have to obviously thank Bob and the board. It's just another example of how they care for people. They care for kids, they care for employees, and they try to do the things that demonstrate that care. So I have to thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate and I'm humbled by all the former friends and employees that are here today. I'm just truly overwhelmed. I even have a student who was in my 8th grade class in 1958 here. I'll talk about it. As my family and friends heard me say so very often, I have had many blessings in my life. I was blessed with an extraordinary and wonderful wife. We were married almost 64 years and we traveled the world together. That was the first and major blessing. I have 2 great kids, my son Mike and daughter Robin, who flew in from Colorado to be here today. And I'm so appreciative. I have to add to those blessings my dear walking friends who have been such a great support for me through all these years as I've dealt with life's issues. And they've just been a wonderful backup, and I do count them and appreciate them. And they're the Walnut Valcoanians, who I've been able to work with and be a part of for more than 60 years, and they allow me to contribute and feel productive and happy. And what more can I ask? And finally, there's the blessing of being part of this school district, which has been such a major piece of my life for so many years. Bob Taylor mentioned we started a long time ago. Nancy and I could have never dreamed that night, more than 70 years ago, when I drove out to this remote edge of Los Angeles County and met with Cy Morris and 3 board members to be interviewed for a teaching job. And as Bob said, I was paid as a janitor, which probably might have been more than I was worth at the time. Little did we realize this would become such a central part of our life. I was just turned 21 and she was 20 years old. After stint in the Army, we moved back, and with the exception of a couple of years, we've lived all our lives in the community. Our kids went through the Walnut schools. We just said that we were so blessed. It has been, and it still is, a great journey. And I'm humbled, so very humbled and thankful for today. I'm pleased and grateful for me, but I'm especially grateful excuse me, for the plaque recognizing Nancy. She was, she would have been pleased and happy and proud of me, but she'd also been pleased and proud of herself for having her contribution to this district also recognized. So for her and for me, thank you all so very much.
At this time, we will officially unveil Ray McMullen Way. And I want you to note that the sign and plaque are over here, but we also will have signs you'll see on the way out on both Lemon and Glenwick. And so everybody in the world who drives by here will see Ray McMullen Way. I would like to invite Ray and his children, Superintendent Taylor, and our board members to join the commemorative ribbon-cutting photos across the pathway, straight across here. Thank you all for joining us today. Please enjoy the reception that has been provided by Dedicated to Learning. I heard there are some good cookies over here, so please help yourselves. Thank you.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Go! 4, 5, 6. It's coming. It's a slow. It'll be worth it. 7, 8, 9. There you go. Want to take the plaque off?
Oh, that's close.
Okay, so Ray, thank you for everything. You're the person that hired me, just along with so many other people, but it's because of you that this was my second home. You made such a difference all over the years, and I'm so glad and honored to be continuing working with you on the D2L board. So thank you for everything, so well deserved.
Ray, we just are so grateful that you are in our lives, and the difference you have made here at Walnut is immeasurable. The students, the facilities, the district. Thank you for being who you are.
Hi Ray, I just want to say I'm so honored to be able to share this day with you and talk to you about how inspirational you have been. So you did hire me way back in 1987, and your leadership and style of connection with everyone always inspired me to try and be the best teacher I could be, the best parent I could be, and talking with you about you and your wife and how you would enjoy going traveling kind of inspired me and my husband to get out and see the world. So I just want to say thank you for everything and congratulations.
Ray, it has been my intense honor to be part of I think a little part of your life, at least like the past 10, 12 years. We've had a lot of wonderful times together. I'll never forget you and Nancy coming to my house for your makeup 90th little birthday brunch that we had, and you shared a lot of things with me and I shared things with you I will never forget, and you gave me great peace. And love your son, love you, and we're going to have way more fun times.
I've worked with him for over 40 years. He's very kind, very knowledgeable, always willing to help people, easy to work with, and just a great friend.
I've known him for about 15 years, and he's somebody that I go to for advice and guidance. Just a generally great person, but also really knowledgeable about schools and school districts. Well, I've worked in the district for about 10 years and have known Ray McMullen that entire time. He's a really special person. I've worked in several other school districts. There are very few people who have been in a school district helping or working for 70 years. And Ray McMullen is like a legend and somebody we all admire. He's one of the most, I guess, experienced people I've ever met in our field of education. And so he's been a mentor not only to me, but to many people here. We really appreciate him. Oh, I'd just like to thank Mr. McMullen for all his time that he's given me and other people that I work with. He's a special person, so thank you.
He is one of the kindest, sweetest, most humble men you will ever meet. He is so giving of his time, and if you ever need advice, he gives it to you honestly, and he's just such a wonderful person to be around. I would just like to say congratulations, Ray. Your impact on our district is incomparable, and we all love you and appreciate you every day.
Two things I really love him. It's the first thing, he's so dedicated to this school district, and the second thing, I think he always touched me so much. I seldom drop tears, but when I heard that he mentioned about his wife Nancy, and yeah, it's really touching, and the love between their couple really make me feel a lot. Yeah.
And Ray McMullen's insight, his knowledge, and his ability to share the history of Walnut Valley with all of us has been something that's been very valuable. The thing that stands out to me about him is his ability to share stories and bring people in. So, for example, I'm a principal here in the district, and one of the first things I was able to do in becoming a principal was hear from him in terms of the traditions and the values and the history of our district and our school, and I think it allowed me to serve our community better. Congratulations, Ray. We know that the Ray McMullen way is the right way. Thank you for your leadership and all the time, energy, and effort you've spent giving back to our Walnut Valley community. We're so excited to celebrate you.